Ford Focus manual swap. This is for the 2012 through 2018. This is the first video of the series where I'll be removing my automatic transmission out of the car, installing this manual, and showing everything along the way in a multi-part video series. Okay. Since this is an introductory video here to the series, I want to mention that I was a Ford tech for 11 years, and I've been using my experience to help you guys with your Ford Focus transmission problems, and other Fords as well. And continuing on with that, I want to show you guys how to swap a manual in your Ford Focus. Just in case you're tired of the dual clutch transmission issues. And I will have a playlist for all these manual swap videos on my channel. And a link in the description below. All right, boys. So I brought 2 bags of tools with me to the junkyard. And grabbed me this son of a gun here. This is an MTX 75. Pulled out of a 2013 Ford Focus, and it's going to go into my 2013 Focus that I'm swapping the manual on. The next video in the series will be showing how to take this apart and inspect the synchronizers and bearings. Hey, buddy. I did buy a Luck rep set for the manual transmission Focus, and that came with a Luck slave cylinder as well, which is what you see right here. On the upcoming transmission teardown inspection video, I did express concern over using the Luck slave cylinder. However, everything worked out fine. Just so you know, the slave cylinder is RTV'd to the case in there. This is the side that goes against the case. There's a bearing right there. So this is the input shaft seal in here, and you put RTV around the center there. You can kind of see where the old RTV was. I keep saying RTV, but it is TA16 anaerobic sealant that you use everywhere on this transmission. So yeah, new slave cylinder, new axle seals. Let me know if you need any part numbers. And very important here, as you guys are in the junkyard pulling everything off that you need, if you have an electrical connector on them, make sure you take the pigtail with you. What I did is I just cut the wires, try to get 6 inches beyond it. That way you have everything you need. All right, I'll start over from the left here. This is the clutch pedal. It does have 2 switches on it, one on the bottom and one on the top. Later on in the series, I'm going to be running wires through the firewall all the way up to the PCM area to wire in for one of these is the start switch, and the other, I believe, is the cruise deactivation switch, if I'm not mistaken there. I'll correct that later. Hey, buddy. This is the ground cable that goes on the side of the transmission. It goes up to the frame rail on the driver's side frame rail. I believe that bolt's right there. And once again, make sure you get the bolts, because the bolt that goes there is really short and it's unique to the manual transmission Focus. Got the bottom transmission mount here, the mount bracket. This one is likely the same as the automatic, the one I'm pointing at. However, I just grabbed it to be safe, and all the hardware. Got the rest of the hardware in a bag across the garage here. Here is the upper transmission mount bracket here. It's unique to the manual, you need it. Here's the bracket that supports the right-hand axle, the longer axle. It is different on the manual, you'll need this. And you're gonna wanna go to Ford and get a new strap that goes on the outside and the 2 lock nuts. That strap stretches to fit. You'll need a brake master cylinder reservoir from the manual Focus, because it comes with this nipple on it here, which feeds the clutch master cylinder. The automatic does not have that. It's the reservoir is held on with that torque screw right there, and it pops out. You will need the hosing that goes from the clutch master cylinder to the clutch slave cylinder. Here's the hose right here that goes to the brake master cylinder. I left it on the clutch pedal assembly. While we're on this topic, this is the clutch master cylinder. If you look at this box labeled SAC, I do have a brand new clutch master cylinder in here that I'm going to be installing. You will need a dual mass flywheel. I got lucky at the junkyard. This one's in excellent condition. A little bit of play is normal, but if it's got a lot more than that, don't use it. If it's burnt up, don't use it. And I am going to give it a once over and just polish it up a little bit with this plastic adapter here. Do not forget the bolts that mount this to the back of the crankshaft. Those are $25 a piece through Ford, so get the ones off the junkyard car. Next, we've got the shifter assembly here. You will need to pull the center console out. It's just held in with some 10mm bolts, 2 down each side of the center console and 2 on the other side, and 2 in the front. Then once the center console's out, this is held down with 4 bolts. Take the bolts with you. And with the center console and shifter out of the way, you will be able to grab these shifter cables. They will slide out through the firewall, and there's a little heat shield that you have to pull out of the way to slide them out. Do keep in mind there's this area right here. On the car, on the inside, you'll have to remove a couple of the small AC ducts, and you'll be able to get to the nuts that hold this down. And once that's out of the way, you'll be able to slide this out of the car. New Luck clutch kit. New axles. The automatic axles are not the same. They're similar, but they have different splines and stuff. This is the right-hand axle. This is the left-hand axle. You'll need 2 quarts of transmission fluid, 75W80 GL4, or Motorcraft dual clutch transmission fluid. Once again, later on, I'm gonna need some wiring. What's that, like 20 gauge? I don't know. And get yourself some butt connectors. I like to get non-insulated butt connectors and then put heat shrink over them. We may end up also needing some pins to go into a PCM connector to wire the circuits for these 2 switches. There's a bag of hardware here. Everything from the junkyard that I saved, I kept the hardware for. I actually grabbed all the bell housing bolts just in case any are different. That's what those are. My thumb is touching a flywheel bolt. That's what they look like, just so you know. Here you go. I will be coming back in the future and going into the description below and updating it if I forgot anything. So make sure to check the description. The next video, once again, we'll be tearing that down and inspecting it and showing you how to do that. After that, I'll be removing the automatic transmission. Once the automatic transmission is out, I'm gonna go ahead and put the shifter cables in. I'll run some wire for the clutch switches. Figure that out later, the rest of it. And I will have to program the PCM. I downloaded some Russian software off the internet that's going to configure my automatic PCM to a manual PCM. The software is called Focccus with 3 C's. And so you'll also need a laptop with OBD Link EX or a similar OBD interface for your laptop here. In order to pull the automatic transmission out, in case you haven't seen my video on that, you're going to need a floor jack, a block of wood, an engine crane to lower down the automatic transmission. You can get a used one for cheap. You get 4 standard sized jack stands. Just get the jack stands as high up as you can, and that'll be enough to slide the automatic transmission down from the bottom. And that's it, guys. That's all I've got for the moment here. Once again, I'm going to come back in the future and go in the description and update it to show anything I forgot. Okay. I look forward to doing this manual swap. I cannot wait to get started. I'll be getting a car here soon enough. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you got any comments below. I've also got a Facebook and Discord group. We are happy to help you there as well. I'll also link a Facebook group called Ford Focus Manual Swap. That has been helpful as well. All right, guys. I look forward to making this video series with you. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.